Hello, fellow gamers, and welcome back to Revolution Idol. So it looks like it has been a little bit of time, and we have actually released version 1. Okay, so it looks like we are kind of getting some ongoing things with the developer. So good to see that they have officially released version 1 of the game. So let's just dive back in. Last episode, we were kind of working towards we kind of just completed our double prestige, our second ascension, and then we were kind of working towards the multiplier for a kind of promotion. As you can see here, we've got up to 3,400. I'm going to quickly go into the time flux. We have got 30 minutes. One thing that I did see here is this time flux converter, from which it kind of converted all of the time flux into progression with that. So I'm going to turn that down just so we can get some online kind of time flux as well. It looks like we have a few things that we can do here. First of all, let's kind of click on here just to get a little bit of that currency. We did kind of skip a couple of days from that. Okay, so where are we? So we have the 3,400 multiplier. We can promote. So let's have a look here. It was in the help. Okay, so where is promotion? All right, here we go. When your prestige multi is over 1,000 pending or current, you can promote. There are 4 options. Performing a promotion resets everything prestige does, as well as prestige bonuses. Okay, so basically looking at this, we can get different, different kind of multipliers. So let's prestige first. There we go, just to get that achievement. Okay. And what else did we get? Ooh, we also got the exponential exponent as well, which is great. Now let us see what this is. Okay, so promotions window. Lap speed multiplier, ascension power, and promotion power. So I think the multi-gain and the these in the kind of lap speed should be kind of good for now. I wonder if we do that first. And what does that do? First of all, we have quite a few kind of components here. We didn't get the white, so let's so basically this is just the promotions kind of reset everything really. So right now that is at level 1. So yeah, so that's going to take a little bit of time. I think we're kind of in the septillions, kind of like at that. So I think, so I think promoting kind of starts us off very, very back to the beginning. So right now we have to kind of get our way back up, get going with the kind of rotations and the kind of unlocking the circles. And then I think what we need to do is once we get back up to kind of where we were left off, I think we did maybe the promotion a little bit too early. So let's get us back to kind of what in the blue, I think it was I don't think we'll make quite skip forward to the septillions, but let's kind of fast forward just a little bit of time. And we're back pretty much where we left off in the last episode after a little bit of catch up. You can see here, just looking at this promotions window, the multi-gain multiplier does kind of double on that first level. So it didn't take as long as what it did in the first episode, but it was a bit of a grind. I think we kind of hold off on promotions for now until it says here that the in the the help? Yep. So in the help options, it says here that ×6 multi-gain is when we should have kind of done that, which is something that I did kind of forget there. So if we can get this up to, I think, level 5 for that promotion, just before we kind of do that, just kind of speed things up a little bit. But you can see here we're up to the octillions, so it's just a case of just leveling up little by little. Things are kind of ramping up pretty quickly. You can see here the multiplier is gaining relatively quick. The next kind of achievement that we are looking to do is buying the white. The white itself needs one I think is it decillion. So another octillion, nonillion, I think the next one is, and then decillion. So we got a little bit ways off before we get to that one. So yeah, like I say, a little bit of time has been passed, but not too much of a difficult. I have kind of like maxed out on the time flux, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to kind of increase. But let's have a look at some of these. Big multiplier, 1 million for that one. That's going to take a little bit of time. The play for 5 hours, that will just happen. The chances are I'm probably just going to leave it to AFK for a little bit, just in order to get that one. Getting an exponent of 1.2. So we are up to 1.1 right now. Things are kind of going up very, very slowly. Since I prestiged, like kind of from to the 500 multiplier, it has gone up just a little bit. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Is it a big number? 1 VG. Now I think is it ventillion or something like that? I don't know. These numbers do sound like they are made up, but that is the next one. Make all multipliers 1,000. Okay, so where are we with that? I mean, the fact that we need to get the white up to 1,000 is going to be quite some time for that one. Have a level 10 promotion. That's going to take some time. All promotions be at least level 10. Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, so promote without prestiging. Okay. I wonder how we do that. Okay. So yeah, so a little bit of time does need to kind of pass before we get a little bit further here. So it's just a case of just clicking these numbers, increasing this. I mean, we're making, 35 septillion, and that number just keeps going up and up and up. So let's just make this up to maybe about 3 each. And then see where we are with that. Okay, so, yep, things are slowing just a little bit. So let's have a look here. So we're ascension number 2 on the red, ascension number 2 on the orange, almost at ascension number 2 on the yellow, and then these are all ascension 1 minus this one. This one's getting pretty close though. That's almost up to ascension 1. So that's looking good there. And again, these are just kind of like, the fact that we have this up to level 20 now is pretty cool. So we just keep on clicking, keep on getting those numbers increased and increased. I am trying to do it kind of even. If you guys have played this game before and like have a little bit of a quicker strategy, I'm always kind of open to see how you guys are doing it. So, but for now, I'm just generally just kind of like, getting to a number. So if I want this up to 10, I'll just kind of work my way through and get them up to 10. Seems to be working pretty well. Obviously the min-maxing of these kind of games, there is, the speedrunner community for getting certain things done and certain games. And I'm sure there is a much faster way of kind of getting this kind of leveled up and as quickly as possible. One thing that I am kind of a bit kind of curious about is kind of when best to kind of prestige. I'm kind of curious on, whether or not we just leave it to go for a little bit or we kind of prestige kind of more often. I've done it now a couple of times. I think I did it at about level 20, then at level like 250, then 500. So I wonder if there's a quicker way to do things in that side of things. Having a look at some of these as well, just to see if there is anything that we can do. A lot of it is prestige with only 3 colors. Okay, so that seems a little way off. Easy prestige, promote without prestige and ascension. Right, okay. Promote without prestige and ascensions. Okay, that's interesting. Oh yeah, so yeah, we can get further on in this game just to see how things get along. And what I want to do is I do want to kind of get white unlocked before prestige, because we are getting pretty close. We see again like 500 multiplier, 3000 multiplier. We are up to a 1.11 exponent as well. So just kind of like, you know, wondering what the best way to do it. The reason why I want to get white on this prestige is because of the kind of the speed up and the lap time. So what I might do is I might just kind of leave this AFK just for a little bit. See kind of when we can kind of get up there. I don't want to kind of have you guys just kind of watching me kind of click a bunch of buttons, even though that's pretty much what this game is. But I want to kind of speed things up just a little bit so you can see how things kind of go when we kind of hit that kind of white kind of ring.
A few moments later.
Okay, and as you can see here, I did kind of bite the bullet and I did prestige. Things were taking quite some time to get the past the non-alien mark. It was really, really slowing down. So now that we have kind of, prestige once more, it has got a lot quicker in terms of unlocking the white ring. So as you can see here, color spectrum by white, 1.05 times lap speed. So we should be able to get a little bit quicker there. Next kind of goal is we're approaching the 5 hour mark in this game. We're about 4.5 hours into it so far. Big multipliers. Now getting that 1 million is kind of speeding up. Things are getting a little bit quicker, but to get to 1 million, it's going to take some time. So I think for now, let's continue. What we've been doing is just, incrementally just kind of increasing things as they kind of come along. The promote window, now it is giving a ×6 multi-gain, which, it did say in the kind of the help that the promotion should be around that kind of mark. So let's have a look here. So yeah, when you prestige, multipliers over 1,000, pending or current, you can promote. Now it says here first promotion is recommended around ×6 multi-gain, which is exactly where we're at now. So the thing is, do we kind of do that? Do we bite the bullet again? Now, a ×2 multiplier did, take a little less time to get things going, but a ×6 might actually be of benefit. I think it's a tough one because it was kind of taking a long time to kind of get that upgraded to get to where we are. I mean, where we are now, we're up to producing 30 non-alien per revolution, so things are kind of ramping up pretty quickly. But in terms of getting these next achievements, it's going to take a little bit of time. I was very optimistic before when we were at a 500 multiplier to get to the unlock the buying the white. But again, I was a bit wrong on that one, and it took an extreme amount of time. Another one to look at, Exponent, we're at 1.13. Again, it's slowing down a lot. This number I think is going to be way off. So I think in order to get this multiplier, I think we do need to kind of promote the ×6. Now, I'm wondering if we do this multi-gain, that's going to be 3 times as fast as what we're currently kind of operating at. And it did take about an hour or so to kind of get to where we are now with unlocking the white. The other option is, the speed multiplier, 1.87. That's pretty decent. It's almost double. The other thing is promotions power as well. As if we increase this, then we get 8% increase on future levels. But it's just a real tough one to kind of think of. What I might do is I might just see if we can get this up to maybe level 4 before we do that kind of multiplier. It doesn't actually say like kind of what level 4 is in terms of experience, but since we have I think it was +5 that got us to level 3. So I think it goes, 1 for level 1, 2 for level 3, 4 for level 4, maybe? Sorry. Level 1 was, all right, yeah, it starts off at level 0. So level 1 was 1. Level 2 was 3 total. Level 3 was, 7 total? So level 4 will be, add another 8 on that, so that'll be 15. So yeah, it's actually a bit way off right now. But again, like a 3 times multiplier just means that, this number right here would be, close to 50. Well, it'd be about 50,000 right now. Putting in an hour to get that kind of increase, I mean, it almost seems worth it. Right now, 3 times what we are doing with the 18,000 multiplier. I mean, it's all numbers, isn't it? So like, it's just a tough one to kind of do, because that promotion really does hard reset pretty badly. Given the fact that it takes quite a bit of time to even get close to kind of where we are now. It's kind of hard to kind of do, and it is a big setback. Short term, yes, it is, but long term, it'll kind of benefit. But it's just, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, do we take that plunge? And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it just seems quite a big jump. So, but I mean, it's already +9, so things are getting relatively quick. So let's just kind of give it a bit more time, see if we can get anything. I think for now, we will just prestige. Get that a little bit faster, and then we can kind of start over again. These numbers kind of generally go pretty quickly. You can see here, I mean, we're already kind of straight into the 10 million. That is, so much faster now. If we promote, it's real tough to kind of like to justify kind of resetting, knowing now that when we did the promotions, it was such a big setback. And I mean, look at these numbers now; they're just kind of rolling up. But looking at the achievements, that million multiplier is going to be pretty tough. And plus, as well, it's the one before the 5-hour mark. So I wonder, I'm just kind of wondering if the way we've been doing things has been like a little bit kind of off on trying to get that. The fact that if you look at the statistics here, we're now at almost 4 hours and 30 minutes, and 30 more minutes in this. Are we supposed to get them in order? I mean, I know with this one here, we got that pretty early, way before we got the color spectrum. So I'm just kind of really kind of just hesitant on doing it. But I mean, look at this. I mean, it is taking no time at all to get there. But again, I think we take the bump. Yeah, let's plunge in. Let's do it. Let's kind of start over and see kind of what happens with this extra. So you can see here now it's on level 3, and this is taking right back to the beginning, which is getting real slow. So yeah, I'm just kind of, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, like, to get to here, it just seems like such a big jump just to get that one little multiplier. And again, the exponent is kind of reset, like everything's reset. So it's kind of, yeah, it just seems just a little bit slow on my liking to kind of do this right now. And doing it again, I mean, it does say in the help to do it around the kind of this times 6 multi games, which we have done. But yeah, so I think, not to kind of bore you guys with kind of where we are right now on the reset, I am just gonna skip past one small, and then we'll, get back to how far it is, and then I'll kind of show you statistics on how far it took us to get to that, that 20x, 20,000 times multiplier. Okay, and pretty much back where we were before. In terms of how long we've kind of played now, it's just maybe about an hour and a half since we did that. So we do have the achievement for playing over 5 hours now with the unscaled time. So we are getting a little bit of a multi gain on that one. We are kind of working towards the big multi, trying to get that million multiplier on that one. In terms of Exponent, we are at 1.16 now. We are kind of getting there. One thing that's kind of sped things up a little is using the hotkeys. So if I just hold B right now, you can see here just on the left-hand side, as things kind of become available, they instantly get purchased. So that just kind of means that, there's been no kind of downtime between that. Also, if I ever get to the point where I need to ascend, I can just click A instead of clicking on things individually. That does kind of speed things up quite dramatically. So given that we do have, 3,000 now, I think if we kind of prestige one more time, and then we kind of go into, you can see here, just keeping hold of B, how quickly things get. Yep. So by doing that, things go real quick, and we're getting 120 something thousand on the multiplier now. So it kind of takes very, very little time. We're already in the billions. It won't take us long, and before we get into the trillions, you can see there we have 20 billion per revolution right now, and you can see how fast those circles are kind of going through. And then just making sure that I'm clicking A every time we kind of see an ascension, and then as well just having a look at these kind of promotions. Things are starting to kind of ramp up as well. You can see here we can instantly go to level 5 on the multiplier on that. I don't quite want to do that yet, just because like I was saying, it is a big grind. It took an hour and a half just to get where we were before. So I'll kind of progress this a little bit more, and kind of we can go through a few of the other things. One thing I have noticed is, even though I have been kind of spending some time online, the time flux hasn't been kind of increasing for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think it might just be pertaining to kind of offline time. So I'll have to kind of have a look at that a little bit more and kind of figure it out. One thing that I have noticed is that here as well, we can't actually sacrifice time flux capacity time flux to gain different things like capacity, the actual gain as well, how quickly we gain time flux, as well as kind of the offline time. So once I figure out that kind of, time flux per hour situation, I'll kind of look into that more. But it looks like, if we do kind of forfeit some of this, we do kind of gain. So if we do kind of go kind of offline between episodes a little bit more, it might be worth kind of looking into kind of sacrificing some of that time flux. But yeah, we can kind of cross that bridge when we get to it. I mean, you can see here already, we're doing, we're already in the quintillions. So it takes absolutely no time whatsoever. And we're even up to, pink. I thought it was magenta, but it's pink. We're already up to that point. And it just takes, very, very little time to kind of progress now. Obviously, kind of like down the line, if we start to kind of promote, we will kind of like I say, this will be double the speed that we'll be getting that one. Also, like we can double the multi-gain on this one if we wanted to. So it doesn't take too much time at all to kind of get back where, but again, as soon as we promote, things really do kind of drop off and take such a kind of long time. So as we work towards this, I think we'll probably get the Exponent first, I would have thought. This is a crazy high number. I don't even know what that is. I think I wonder if it's because there was like after Decillion there was UDC and then there was DDC. So I think we're some time off trying to get as much as that. I would like to try and get some of these, like, making all the multipliers be over 1,000. Can we get that now, actually? No, it only goes to level 5. Sorry, I thought it was a little bit higher than that. Level 10 promotion is some time off as well. Making all level 10, that's another one. That's going to take some time. I think if we can get up to level 10, I think that's when we'll do the next promotion. So we can get one up to level 10, and then we can work on getting all 4 of them up to level 10. Promotion 4 being the kind of multiplier for the promotions. So that just means we'll be gaining more and more kind of points towards that so we can level up that quicker. Just to make it a little bit easier of a kind of a grind once we reset and do that promotion. So, given that we are kind of progressing at a real, solid state now, we are having that kind of multi-gain at over 100,000 is kind of really kind of showing that it's kind of increasing that. I mean, we actually had the red up to Ascension 3, I believe, before we reset. So that's real cool on that one. So what we're going to do is going to, kind of fast forward just a little bit more. Just kind of make sure that we can get where we kind of prestiged and seeing once we get to that 100K mark, just how quickly we can get up to that 1 million. Okay, and that didn't really take much time at all to get back up to where we were. We're now actually making 100 UDC a second. So it's really going pretty quick in terms of getting that kind of up to that million mark. So I think given that, you can see here we're doing maybe 500 a second-ish. Maybe not quite that much. We're probably doing about 250 a second. So, working out that in order to get to 1 million, that's going to take, 100,000. It's going to take some time still. Obviously, exponentially, as we kind of level up, it does get quicker and quicker to the point that, it will be doing like thousands per second. So like, and when we get up to that stage, that's kind of where we want to be. I am curious about the Exponent because, we're kind of in that zone now by looking at it, obviously with the playtime and everything else, that we should be getting that 1.2 multiplier. Things have slowed down though. It does seem to kind of taper off a little bit as we get kind of further and further until we kind of increase enough to kind of like push through like kind of ascensions and stuff like that. But you see here, we almost have the pink up and ascended now. There we go. You're seeing that kind of just went up to 1.17 now. So it is slowly but surely. I wonder if we have, the Exponent pretty much getting to 1.2 when we hit that 1 million multiplier. In terms of some of the other achievements, make all multis over 1,000. I mean, that's going to take some time. We have all the way up to, which color is that? Turquoise now, which is up to 1,000. So we are kind of gradually going through that. But you can see here the white at 10. It's going to take a long time in order to do that. And, we can kind of quick things up with, stuff like Ascension, power from promotions. But I think that's not going to have too much of an impact. I mean, right now, 18% increase in ascension power isn't going to kind of make massive differences so that we can get that up to the 1000 mark. So I think, stick with getting everything to level 10. Or sorry, when I say everything, we'll get the promotion done when we hit level 10. By that time, we would have, well and truly passed the 1 million mark for that. And then hopefully also the Exponent up to 1.2 as well. There we go. There's the pink ascended now. So you can see here, white is up to level 48, which is, given how quickly we're kind of going up with things now. It's getting increasing real quick. And you can see here already I think we're doing about 1,000 a second now. So that's really ramping up super quick. So it won't take much time at all to get up to that 1 million.
A little later,
as we get ever so close to that million kind of multiplier kind of achievement, you can see now things are going so much faster. It's almost, I think it's probably around about the 5,000 to 6,000 mark. We are increasing per second. The Exponent is also getting real close. You can see there it's 1.19 now. So I think we give it a little bit more time just to kind of get both of those before we do look to kind of prestige. Things will get, a lot more quick in terms of getting these levels up. You can see here the numbers, tradecillion right now, and then we're also hitting I think it's a quadricillion, I think maybe, to get to that. So I think VGC, I think it was the next achievement, which we'll look in a second. Once we hit that, oh, hang on. Oh, we've actually got to get the achievement, we actually have to prestige on that one. So we'll wait for the Exponent to get up to 1.2 as well. So this one, VG, I think this is the 20. So right now it's up to 14 in terms of the way the numbers work. So we have to go through a full cycle from, we did, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, blah, blah, all the way up to 1 million, then up to 1 billion, trillion being 3, quadrillion being 4, all the way up to 14, which is quadricillion, I think it is, if I think that's right. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling with that. Let's see how long it takes to get the Exponent up to 1.2 so we can kind of collect all of this. Also, kind of looking at this now, the kind of promotion window is up to level 7, so we haven't got too much more. So things are starting to ramp up all around these kind of like numbers here, which I think we're going to get level 10 promotion way before we get all of the multipliers up to 1,000. Oh, there we go. So there's 1.2. So that's awesome, right? So we have Scion up to 1,000 now. We almost have Blue up to 1,000. These things are going on real quick. And, we've even got up to the quintessilion, I think it is. Yeah, QIDC. So things are ramping up real quick. I wonder if, before we prestige, we just, give it a little bit more time, maybe get to the 2 million mark, see if that makes much of a difference. Because, when we're kind of in these numbers, it feels like letting it run just a little bit longer. Also, just make note, maybe a little bit of a cheese, but given that B is buy all, you can pretty much go AFK if you wanted to, and somehow figure out how to keep B pressed. That means the O is going to buy. I kind of just tried that for a few minutes and it did kind of work before. So if you did want to kind of cheese this just a little bit, that's probably kind of the way to do it. Okay, now what else have we got here? Promote without prestiging. Okay, that might be something that we can try once we get all of these up to level 10. And we can just do it because we need to get I think we need to get to 1,000 multiplier before we prestige. So I think what we can do is before we even get into doing that, we just literally promote straight away just to get that little multi-gain kind of increase. Let's have a look. If there's anything else that we can do. Multiply your multiplier in 1 prestige. Okay, so basically what we can do is we can promote without prestige in, and then just get it all the way up to 1 million without even kind of prestige in once. This one here with the 3, I mean, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But yeah, we'll kind of start looking at some of these trickier ones. I mean, promote without prestige in or ascending, I feel like that'll take quite a bit of time. And I think what it'll do is it really depends on these getting all up to kind of level 10. And then kind of pushing that a little bit further before we start getting some of these. But a 1.6 multi-gain for each of those 3. Make all promotion, I mean, getting all of them up to level 50 just seems such a far thing away. And given that that's so far away and the fact that infinity is a couple after that, that must be quite some time off before we get to that. So, okay. So let's get this to 2.5. That gives us a 20 multiplier from what we're currently at. So things will kind of speed up. And then once we get there, we can see how quickly it takes to kind of level things up. Okay, and we are at the 2.5 million mark now. So let's kind of prestige. And then we'll get the big multipliers. That gets us 300 of that currency. And then another 250 from the Exponent as well. And then we'll keep a hold of B, and just tap in A, and you can see here just how quickly we can get kind of upgraded. I mean, we're already up to the kind of the blue mark, which that was one of our very first achievements that we have to get. So yeah, so I think, we'll call it for today. I think that'll be kind of enough kind of progression from that. Next episode, we'll continue with those achievements, really trying to kind of push things up. I think the main focus in the next episode is to kind of get these promotions up to level 10, and then seeing kind of what kind of difference that makes with getting these kind of leveled up. So guys, I appreciate you checking in this episode, and if you do like the content, please like and subscribe. I am trying to grow this channel, and every subscription means like a lot to me. I appreciate all of you that are watching, that are subscribed. And if you're not, like I say, I would appreciate it if you did. So guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.